A very good afternoon. Our guest for today is Mr. Sujay Satyanarayana. So before we get into our session, let me introduce him briefly to all of you. Mr. Sujay Satyanarayana is a self-made social entrepreneur and serving several needy patients through his uniquely established Janoushadhi Kendra, which serves many with social security services through his brainchild Basavanagudi One, and has nurtured the generation next through another idea, Sattva Preschool, a finance and economics scholar from London University and has been pursuing his Ph.D. Mr. Sujay has grown up seeing his father's social and political life very closely, which has influenced him greatly. In fact, his father himself has been a role model for Mr. Sujay. Known for his principled life, even in politics, B. Satyanarayana, alias Katte Satya, was a four-time corporator and mayor of Bangalore during the year 2013-14. Having such a charismatic person's leadership during his budding career, Mr. Sujay was a part of his father's social activities that provided him the exposure to the issues of the people and ways and means of meeting them. Mr. Sujay, as an educationist, built Katte Satya Foundation and has been in social service since the year 2015. The organization focuses on the holistic development of individuals and has been actively working in health, education, food, and social security. Sattva Preschool and Academic is one such effort to strengthen the roots of a future generation while they are budding. An unexampled innovation, a startup in the education sector for young minds, established in the year 2018-19 academic year. A 3-year-old preschool has been very well received and has been the talk of the town of late with regard to children's admission for preschooling. Thank you so much, Mr. Sujay. It's indeed an honor to have you with us today. A very
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for such a good introduction about myself, my father, and the Sattva Preschool. I'm so happy today to be here with you and to answer all the questions that you are expecting me to do it today. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again.
Thank you. So yes, after hearing such an amazing work that you all have been doing, I would still like to know from you that what was the thought behind starting the school?
Actually, in the year 2018, when I came back from London, my father insisted me to start working in a couple of colleges because he is not a man behind of software companies or maybe big companies, 7 companies which will be leading the world now. So he told me that, can you please start working as a professor or assistant professor? I started working in several colleges in Bangalore, say Jain University, BNMIT, PS University, which was a college before. Now it is a university. So I started. So later on, when we started working, to be very frank, the pay scale was not as much as expected for a professor and an assistant professor. So I thought, let me do something else apart from this. So in the year 2018, we thought, okay, let us establish our own preschool compared to any colleges, because this is a point where we can nurture the kids. And also we can tap them very neatly that this is what right, this is what wrong. So in the college students, what happens is they're already grown up, and tapping them and saying this is what, this is good, this is bad, or this is good. They won't hear so much from our side. So it is better to nurture them from the younger ones. So initially we saw many schools in and around Bangalore which were under sale. Only the schools were under sale, but not the property was not so much good, or they were not selling the property to us. So we thought, why don't we set up our own school where we have our own property. Presently, we have started in Raja Rajeshwari Nagar. When we started, the whole community was not at all developed. It was, you can say, full of mud roads. When it is a rainy season, we used to pick up the kids from the home towards the school because parents were not able to drive. So in the initial years, in 2019, when we started, at least for 6 months, we used to stand near the residential gate, that is the community entrance gate. And I used to tell them like, okay, this way you can go here. There is no much water. There is no much mud. So you can easily go inside the campus. So we used to do all things that can be done. Early morning, I used to go around 3:30, 4 o'clock. I used to go tap the newspaper wala, and I used to ask them like, can you please take these pamphlets and distribute to the homes? Maybe we payment is a second part, but doing this job is not so easy. Going at morning 2:30, 4, 3 o'clock, it is not so easy. So initially started with a assistant professor, later turned to be an entrepreneur in preschooling sector. It has been a different journey for me. So that is how we started from 2018.
Wow, that's amazing. It's really inspiring the way you all started. And
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you.
it's I think it's a story of all startups. There is like
Yeah. So each and every banner I have tied up in RR Nagar, which need to be done, carefully done. Giving job to another worker is not so easy. Like he will go, he'll tie up somewhere else which can't be seen or which cannot, like it is a government property. Government people will come up and ask like, why are you tying here? You will be fined again. So for me, I used to know like, okay, this is where people used to come, go there, tap the requirement and get the admission done. So that is what we used to do. I used to go to the park. Sometimes when there are elderly people in the park, they object. If you give pamphlets, they say, oh, don't give any pamphlets here because again, it will get dirty here. So then again, you should hear that words from them and you have to stand outside like a watchman. Then you have to start distributing only to the kids who come and go. Some parents used to avoid us. How they used to go in the other gate because they are already joined to the one preschool. They don't want to join to the other one. So they used to avoid. Early morning used to go and again distribute the calendars to the parents. And sometimes literally I have cried because it is not so easy doing a marketing job. Like everybody hates a marketing job. We end up doing the same thing one or the other way in the life. So sometimes I've literally cried, and my wife I told like, don't worry, nothing will happen because survival is a fittest and you are doing the best job. So you'll survive one or the other day. So wait for your right opportunity.
Yes. And hard work always pays.
Yeah. Hard work always wins. Yeah, definitely.
That's amazing. So, of course, you've mentioned the year that you started, but I would like to know Bangalore as a city, how, has grown so much over the past few years. And especially if you look at schools that not only preschool, but even the big schools, the primary, secondary schools are opening at every nook and corner. So with even the preschools, which are there in every second lane, how does your school stand to make a difference among so many preschools?
So if I take the school name, it is known as Sattva. Sattva means potential, and it is like coming up in the life in a different way. So initially our plan was to get into only 4 or 5 rooms in a place. And later we'll establish it as in a big way once we start getting more admissions. So later me and my father, we sat down and we said, okay, let us not do any 4 or 5 rooms. We'll do a 13 classroom setup, a very nice setup. First ground floor, first floor and second floor. Later we'll decide where to go, how to go about it. So we have around 5,000 square feet land in Rajarajeshwari Nagar. Out of which 2,000 square feet have been occupied only for classrooms. Rest 3,000 square feet is for play area. So once the child comes in, he has got ample area to play. The first and foremost important thing that we need to look at today is everybody has a standalone house, that is independent house. The second thing is you live in an apartment or a community.
Correct.
So in an apartment, where do you have a playground?
Absolutely.
Let us keep the apartment away. So again, in a standalone house, you have to travel at least half a kilometer to play.
Correct.
Because the parks are situated either 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 3 kilometer away. So you have to go there. So children are not getting enough time. And also this time, what has happened is like parents are working in software companies or any other companies. Their job is 9 to 5. Once they come to 5 o'clock from the office, they have to sit for the routine work. What is this routine work? They have to start cooking, doing all the other works, washing, then also washing the vessels, all this routine work. So children will never get any time. Again, let us not scold other preschools or degrade them. Most of the preschool does not have play area to utilize, or they don't, because somebody has constructed the house. They are in US or UK or they're in some other city. They're giving the 6 or 7 bedroom house to the rented for the preschools. So we thought, let us have a preschool which has a very good area to play. So that is the first major point we thought. So we left out 3,000 square feet of area, which includes the garden, sandpit area, everything to the play area. Second part we thought is, okay, let us construct an office which is neat, and if the parent comes in, he should be able to see everything. So in the office, what is more important is ventilation. So I have got two windows which are ranging between 8 by 4, that is 32 feet. So two windows cupping up to 64 feet. Okay. If my office has 64 feet of ventilation, why don't we do same thing for the classrooms? So we thought, okay, if a person is coming to the office, he should be visualize himself. How does his child classroom looks like? He should not go to the classroom, or we are happy to take them to the classrooms. We never close anything. We are so transparent. During the class hours, we avoid because children will be in different manner, or they'll be sometimes eating. Absolutely, or some children will be in the toilet. So that is how we planned as office should have the full visualization. So walls are not painted with any kind of unwanted paintings which are affecting the children's eyes. So we have to keep in the mind, bright color should not be on the walls. The walls will only have light colors. So we did not paint any cartoon, which is not required in this age, because cartoon have different characters, bad or good. So you should always keep the good ones. So how do you say this is a good character, this is a bad character? So we thought, let us not paint anything on the walls. So each classroom should be around 300 square feet. Why 300 square feet? 10 by 10 is a very small area. If you take 12 by 10, again 120 square feet, it is a very small area. So let us expand it as much as we can. So we got 15 by 17 classrooms. So it is ranging up to 300 square feet. Out of 300 square feet, each classroom has 8 by 4 board. Again, 32 square feet of board. Out of which 64 square feet is a window which goes on. Then they have the separate chair, table, everything set up. So whole setup is very neatly done. So you have a 3000 square feet of play area. Then you do have 300 square feet of classroom. Then you have each floor has 2 potty stands, 3 urinals. So how does this really matter? The first and foremost important is not play area, not the classrooms. It is only the toilet which really matters. So toilet should be very neat. Let us take a simple example. I go to a mall. First important thing I see is, does the toilet smells? If it stinks, I immediately come back. For this matter, anybody, not only me. So anybody, if I go to a movie theater, if I go to another place, we see a toilet. Why toilet? Fastly for children, infection will attack from the toilets, not anywhere else. So toilet should be neat. It should be very easy to accessible. So we did 3 urinals, 2 potty stands, so that even the girl child will be able to access, even the boy child will be able to access neatly. And there should be a small wash basin which is accessible by the kid. So what is the height of all the toilets and the potty stand? Okay. What is the maximum height that the child grows in the age of 2 to 6? Max to max is 3.5 feet. So you have to have all these things in the 2 feet. So we decided, okay, toilet room should have toilets within 2 to 2.5 feet. Because it should be neatly accessible. Somebody should not go jump, or somebody should not be able to not accessible, or hand wash should have all the time water. So what we did everything child friendly. We went on child friendly potties, which went on child friendly urinal system, and child friendly wash basins. So now the parent is able to see everything in a very different way. If you go to the normal apartment, everything is in the potties or the commodes are in the big way. But in the school, it is in the smaller section. It is small in size, which makes the child to feel comfortable. If he is not able to do, or if he is not able to learn his potty or urinal back in home, the school will help you to perform it in a better way. So how do I ask the parent? I'll tell the parent, let us say your child is doing the potty every day between 11 to 11:30. The school does not know about it. So one day suddenly the child does it at 11:15. So our office or our class teachers or our ayahs who are around, they decide the time. They note down the time. Today, okay, Ayush has done potty at 11:15. The class teacher will note it down. Once that is done, tomorrow again they will observe. By 11:10, they will take them to the potty and they will make him to sit there. So that helps him to learn in a better way. So now coming up to the how does my school really stand different way? The first thing is the play area. The second thing is the hygiene, which is really important. The classrooms are well ventilated, and each classroom can be accommodated with 50 kids, but we only accommodate not more than 15 kids. So now 50 is the main point. So 1/3 of that is only accommodated in each classroom. So this is how we stand differently.
Wow. And I think for children at this stage, space really matters a lot.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's
yes, yes.
amazing. I'm sure that children would really feel, really, they must be finding so much of freedom in the space that is provided for them.
Definitely, yes.
Yes, absolutely. So tell me, Mr. Sujay, that today, gone are the days where, at least when I was growing up, whichever school used to be the closest one to the
Yes.
house, that's where the parents used to put us,
Yeah.
irrespective of the board that the school followed, whether it was a state board, a CBSE, ICSE, didn't really matter. But
Yes.
distance was the most important thing.
Yes.
But today, for parents, it has become a big matter of discussion because they are always worried about what board is your
Yes,
school
yes,
following.
ICSE, CBSE, yes.
So, yes. So for you as an educator, do you think that boards, do they really define a child's success?
See, basically, it depends upon the parents. How do they think about their child's success? Because in the initial years, our only agenda should be give them the best education. The board really does not really matter. Because I studied in the state board of Karnataka. Today, I'm still becoming a successful entrepreneur. Let us say my wife is in CBSE. She studied CBSE and she is a successful lawyer.
Yeah.
So the board does not really matter.
Correct.
How you educate your child is really important. The first and foremost important thing is life lessons.
Yes.
You should treat people good. You should treat whom you have to treat bad or good as. Again, you have to teach them in a different way.
Yes.
So seeing an beggar, you can't say them, oh, he's a bad guy, don't go to him. No. Life lessons is different for each and every person.
Yes.
Board does not really matter. In Sattva, what we basically do is, we have a curriculum which we have taken from Credo. Credo is our curriculum partner. So we have set of books which will teach the kids all the 3 boards. So let us say if Ayush wants to go to state board tomorrow, after finishing UKG, he can set in the UKG.
Okay.
That is in the state board.
State board.
If he wants to go to the CBSE, yes, he can go. If he wants to go to ICSE board, yes, he can go. So how does this work? We teach phonics. The first and foremost important thing for any student is in English is phonics. The child has ability to learn 26 languages, but let us only concentrate on one language that he learns perfectly. Let us not go to the other part. So first important thing is phonics. The second important thing is math. The basics of the math should be taught properly. In the nursery stage, we teach them phonics. In the nursery stage, we teach them 1 to 100 basic math. When he goes to the LKG, again, phonic will be retaught. Why? 2 months of gaps during the summer break will again make them to forget everything, because that time you have no access to school. And most of the parents wants to get rid of the kids, put them in the native back because they want to work here as a work machines. Okay. So by the time they come back, everything will be gone. So you have to refresh everything. In the LKG, we do same thing. Again, we teach them everything, phonics, 1 to 100, everything, and we take up to 400 numbers. So you say that, can they go up to 400? Yes, the child can learn 26 languages. As I told you before, they have ability to learn 26 languages. From that is where CBSE stands in LKG. If you go to the UKG, we take up them to the ICSE level. How? We teach them 3-letter word, 4-letter word, 5-letter word, as well as 1 to 10 mathematic tables. So 1 ones are 1, 1 2, 2 ones are 1, 3 ones are 1, 4 ones are 1 till 10. Okay, let us say I have a kid whose ability is only to learn till 4 or 5. So we talk to the parents and we stop them there. We don't pressurize them that, oh, you have to learn 10, otherwise my school name will go down here. What are you doing? No, we tell the parents, okay, your child is only happy to learn till 4. No worries, let us teach. So during the COVID, if I want to take an example, there are kids who have directly come to the UKG because of the age. So these kids have never attended the school. So we started teaching them ABCD in the first few months. Okay. Phonics in the second quarter. Third quarter, we started with phonics, ABCD, as well as the 1 to 1000, and now the mathematic table. The child is able to do calculations till 1000 numbers. So the child has an ability to do. Board really does not matter. The child ability decides everything. So that is how we work.
Absolutely. I think that's very true, that it all depends on the child and his or her ability to learn and grasp. And that's how parents have to decide what board is good for the child. Absolutely. And eventually, or in the end, boards are just frameworks. And
they should not pressurize the child.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, usually parents, some of the parents have this habit of comparing their child. Suppose their own child is 3-year-old and they see another 3-year-old, and that 3-year-old knows much more than their own child. They wonder that why is it that my child is not able to learn or know that much? So, do you think that is there any particular way that a child learns?
A particular way in the sense Montessori makes, because Sattva follows Montessori syllabus.
Okay.
So we think Montessori is the best way of learning. Why Montessori? Again, I told you before, like life sessions should be taught practically.
True.
So life sessions come practically in Montessori method. So what are the life lessons that are taught? Maybe how to grate the carrot. That is fine motor skills, gross motor skills. All these things are important life lessons that need to be taught. So we teach them in a different way based for the different kids depending upon. Let us say I gave you an example that a 5-year-old kid who came up for the school for the first time has an ability to learn table only till 4. So another kid who came up a bit early than him has an ability to learn till 9. So I can't pressurize both of them. You learn till 9. Why are you only learning 4? Each child is different. Their ability is different. The child who has not seen the school has ability to learn 4. Who has seen the school has ability to learn till 9. So it depends upon a child as well as how much they're able to do it in a different way. Each child is different, so we can't pressurize them based on this.
Oh, yes, I think that's very well said. And also, if you see today that, of course, parents are pretty ambitious that once they want their children to learn a lot. So once the child comes home, they want their child to go for, say, music class, dance class, or art class. They want the child to develop as in an overall personality. So do you think that there are any skills that parents can help to inculcate or imbibe in their child to help them form an overall personality?
When it comes to holistic development or overall personality thinking, Sattva stands differently. Each and every year, we do 3 or 4 theaters. Why theaters? Theaters will help the child to speak properly and show his ability. Let us say, I have a very good ability of speaking. So what we do is basically when it comes to annual day, we'll ask the child, can you please do anchoring for us? Just for 1 minute. So ability of speaking will be shown publicly. So the parents will be again happy about it. Okay, let us say another child is really focused on acting, his acting skills. He does all these videos, TikTok or reels with his mom or dad, and mom and dad will send me. So let us say, okay, let us use that child in a different way. So another child is good in music. So let her make to learn some Bhagavad Gita or some shlokas, which will again help them to improve their language section. So we have different ways of developing the child holistically. So this year we did I think mostly 3 or 4 theaters where children have performed very fantastic, or I would say a different word above something. We have Vanake Obava, who is an Chitradurga Vanake Obava. Then we have another drama which was done as sorry, just 1 second. It was about Punya Koti Kate, where a lion attacks the cow and cow saves herself by trying the truth. And Vanake Obava is a drama which tells about how the Britishers attacked Karnataka region and how the Obava saved Karnataka region from Hyderali and Britishers. Another part of it is we recently did in the month of January Swami Vivekananda drama, where Swami Vivekananda talks about evils and bad elements and good elements. So we did 3 to 4 theaters and we used more than 60% of the kids within the school. So their ability to speak have improved. Parents are so happy. They are able to sing. They are able to do everything within the school. So yes, when it comes to academics, parents should talk about everything. They want their child to perform in a different way based on the dance, music, theater, different way. So thinking about parent perspective, even I have a child of 2 years. I want my child to play some instrument like flute. Me and my wife, we have already started speaking like we have to put him to flute. We have to put him to tabla. We have to ask him to sing. We have to ask him to dance. So parents' thinking ability is really good. Like they have to structure their kid in a holistic manner. And Sattva, when it comes to these things, we really support them in a different way.
Wow, that sounds really interesting. And I think theater is such an amazing tool to
Yes.
develop the child's skills. That's an amazing thing. So I'm sure that at Sattva, you would be like listening to what all you do at school. I'm sure that activities would be forming a great part of curriculum. So what kind of emphasis or what kind of role do activities play in the curriculum that you follow at Sattva?
This is a very good question, because most of the parents say that, are you an activity school or a Montessori school, or what kind of a school are you? So I would like to say Sattva is a Montessori school. We have more than 600 pieces of activities which will be completed by the kids between 2 to 6 years of age. So I can't say that, okay, within 1 year you have to do 600 pieces of materials, then your ability to do is really good. No. So we start with the basic materials of how to identify color, how to identify square, circle, triangle, rectangle, everything. From there, we take up to the final level, how to make a big circle with 1/3, 1/8, 1/10 of pieces. Because math has that 1/8, 1/10, all these things. So activity plays an important role. And since we are a Montessori based, we have huge amount of activities as a part of curriculum. So how do I attach this activity into my books? Because once the child goes to the nursery, UKG, LKG, their ability to write should improve. Otherwise, they can't go to the big schools. The big schools ask, where did you go? He did not teach you to write. Then what did you spend for last 3 years? What did you do? So let us say today the child performed some basics colors, which has circle, square, triangle, rectangle. Okay, red has a circle, so it is a red circle. So again, when you go back to the book, you open page number 3, it has red circle. So the child can easily identify, today I did the same activity, the same thing is appear in the book. So circle is in the red color in the initial stage, that is in the playgroup stage, that is 2 to 3 years. When he goes to the 3 years, the circle will also be in the blue color. We also have materials which has similar blue color materials. So activity plays really important role for the kids to writing as well as the reading facility. So let us say the child wants to do 2 to 3 letter words. So how do we perform? We have phonic sounds which are already printed and neatly laminated. So let us say the child wants to do 2-letter word, do, do. So that is how he reads. So teacher is doing 2-letter word back in the class since yesterday. The child will have an access to all the 2-letter words today. So when he comes to the activity room, he'll be given all the set of alphabets. He should start doing 2-letter words. Do. Then comes the next set of words. Bha sounds is B. B sounds bha. A sounds a. So bha. So he should join the next set of words. So that is how activity plays really important role. So you may again ask, how does the laminated sheet 1 ABCD is an activity? Yes, it is an basic activity because each and every letter is cut into different manner based on their shape and size. So we give it to the child. So that is an activity. The child will come, sit in the room, start picking up the different alphabets, bring them together based on whatever the teacher tells. Again, same thing is available in the book. So activity is joined together with the curriculum very neatly at Sattva.
Okay, that's great. And in Montessori, though I know you're following the Montessori method of curriculum, but I would like to know that, of course, Montessori way is like that when a child is ready to move on to the next level, the child just moves automatically. So there's no kind of a structured thing. The child has to continue doing what everybody else is doing. But I would like to know from you that suppose there are children, and I think because everybody learns at a different pace.
Yeah.
So suppose there are children who are kind of not able to come up to the basic level of the other children. So at Sattva, do you have any kind of a support system to help these children to be able to cope up to the level of the class or the age group?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, these days, what's happening is the major thing is parents are occupied with their work pre-COVID and post-COVID. Pre-COVID, what happened? It is work from home. They used to always be in front of laptop. Post-COVID, what has happened? The child should go out of the home no matter what it is. So pre-COVID, the child has grown. Child was born. It has grown up to 2 years. So whom did the child speak to? Father and mother? No, because father and mother is always occupied in the laptop. So the child ability to speak has gone down to zero. It should be at least 70%. Let us not take 100%. No child will have at the 2 years of age 100% ability to speak. Let us take 70% or 50%. So ability to speak, zero. So what are the basic things? I want to go to toilet. I want to go to potty. These things are zero with a child. Why? Diapers are always in the pack. So diapers have occupied the pants, and child ability to speak is zero because the parents are occupied with the laptop. So when they come to the Sattva, the first and foremost important thing I would suggest them is leave him here for 6 months. Why? First, let him come and settle down, leave all his cry, leave all his unwanted activities. Let him come and settle for 6 months. Let him learn how to speak first. These days, speaking has been a very has affected the child in a very different way. If he is not able to express what he needs, how can he, if he only shows the bakery and says that I want chocolate, the parent does not understand whether he wants chocolate or cake or an ice cream. He'll just get a cake for him. The child does not like the cake. He throws it off, but he wants a chocolate. So abilities to speak plays major important role for the child. The second and third thing is ability to walk and ability to understand things what we tell. If a child does not know how to speak, how can he understand very faster? So pre-COVID, post-COVID, this has been the stage for us. So most of the kids have less ability to speak. Now Sattva has taken up a very good step. We have made sure that each and every class has 2 to 3 teachers who has very high proficiency in regional languages. When you come to Bangalore, the major language that we speak here is Kannada, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, because we have all southern states and northern Indian people who are coming towards the Bangalore.
Yes.
So when it comes to Sattva, we hire people who has an ability to speak at least English, Kannada, and one language, regional language, that is Tamil, Telugu, or Hindi. So we occupy them. We tell them, can you start speaking towards the kid? The kid only knows Telugu. Why? Pre-COVID, post-COVID. It is again a story where the parent says that come here, go here in Telugu, and they settle the kid. The kid does not know English. Now we have to occupy the kid in Telugu. And if I tell them in English, they don't understand. Now the problem starts here is the father and mother does not leave the Telugu habit, but they want their child to learn English. First is parents should support us back to back. Okay. School is teaching English. Let us support English. How? You should speak in English back home, but you will be speaking only in Telugu back home. Now the problem is 2 language problem. The child is able to understand English. The child is able to understand Telugu. He replies in Telugu and English both, because we are facing this problem in the school. So now what happens if you take it to the other school? They tell this is a physically, mentally handicapped kid because his language proficiency is not good. The child is able to walk. The child is able to do his things properly. That is potty as well as the urine, whether in diaper or non-diaper, he is able to do it. But the child is only having one problem. That his ability to speak is bad. If you take it to the other school, they say, oh, this child does not have proper basic skills of speaking. Put him to the physically and mentally handicapped school. Now the parents get really frustrated because pre-COVID, post-COVID, the children were doing really good. Post-COVID, suddenly the school is telling this child has no ability to speak. So now we have more than 40-45 kids who had same problem. What Sattva did, we got a speech therapist. The speech therapist started testing everybody. So what happened? We got the speech therapist. They started speaking to the kids. The kids started answering really well. So the speech therapist has their own language. The kids started answering really well. Parents were really happy. Okay, so my kid has problem in speech. Some kids have problem in walking. So let us take to the doctor. The school is able to identify this. One of our kid named by Trishul, I should not tell the name, but still I'm mentioning it. Trishul had 4 language problem. Mother is speaking West Bengal, Bengali. Mother comes from West Bengal and she's speaking Bengali. The father is coming from Orissa because there is a love marriage. He speaks Oriya. Local language is Kannada. And school should teach him English. So 4 language has gone into his mind and he's not able to output anything. This has made him a physically and mentally handicapped kid. And we identified it. We told the parents, I'll give you a speech therapist number where school has not been connected anyway financially or something like that. They are parent in a different way. Their kid has studied in our school 2 years, 3 years back, and they have one kind of an attachment with the school. So we told the parent, don't take it in a different way. Your child needs a speech therapy. So take to this person, he'll help you in speech. Now the kid is able to understand Oriya, the kid is able to understand Bengali, the kid is able to understand Kannada as well as English, all the four languages, because we structured it in a different way. So that is how, whether the kid is in slow motion or the slow learner or the fast learner or proactive, we don't need to cut them down, or we don't need to beat them up every day saying that you need to learn fast, you need to learn fast.
Correct.
First is understand the kid. If you don't understand the kid, then your school will never grow, or the parents will never come to you. That is how where we have to put it.
No, that's really so beautifully expressed, and I think you put it down so well, and that's something which parents need to understand, and even schools need to understand.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to, like you said, when even if it's two languages, whether it's bilingual or three languages or four languages, it's all like a mishmash, and the child actually ends up speaking a mix of all the languages. And then they say that there is some problem with the child, not understanding that in the child's mind, there is so much of confusion and there is hodgepodge of all the languages.
Yeah. Couple of kids were asked them to go to the special schooling, and they came back to us, and I told his ability to walk is really good. He's able to walk straight. If I tell him, can you go touch the plant and come back? His ability to hear is really good. In Kannada, he was able to understand, but in English or Telugu, he's not able to understand. Then I told you need speech therapy, which is really important for your kid. So now they have started speech therapy. The kid is improved a lot better.
Oh, that's really, I wish that many other schools would understand this.
They should do it. They should never go behind money. Money comes after once you settle down.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. That's really nice too, and so encouraging to hear that.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell me something. Of course, we spoke about, children who are kind of, they lag behind. One is that I would like to know that at Sattva, what is the student-teacher ratio that you follow, in each class?
Actually, we follow 1:10.
Okay.
And these days, what has happened is most of the retired people are asking us, can you please provide us a job for free of cost? They are government teachers, but they want to stay with children. Okay. So in such cases, we have 1:5. Okay. Maybe in the playgroup 2 to 3. Because playgroup, I told you we can occupy up to 50 kids in each class. So if it is 50 class, then I have to keep 5 teachers, which is not at all possible.
Not possible.
So what we are doing is 1:5, 1:8, and 1:10. We have different ways of going it. If it is very age of the child is between 2 to 3, we have 1:5 or 1:8. If the child age goes up, we have 1:10. Because if you tell a child, can you sit down and not to make noise, they'll hear us. So one teacher is more than enough for every 10 kids, one teacher is more than enough. On the other hand, when it comes to non-teaching staff, when it comes to 2 to 3 years age, we have permanent Aya for 1 year. Okay. So that is, the maid does not change at all. Why? The first is you need to look at school as a second place of house. Yes. Teacher is the second mom, and the Aya becomes a third mom. Why? She should teach him how to urinate, how to go to potty, how to eat, everything. So more than the teacher, he'll go attached with the Aya or the maid, which is right there in the school. So we tell, or there is no agreement in Sattva with any teachers. We don't legally bound saying that you have to work here for 1 year, otherwise we will not leave you and you are only paid so much. No, I don't do. I tell them during the first day of interview, see, I'll give you 2 days of time. Come back. You have been selected. But promise me that you will work for 1 year. If you leave in the middle, we'll have a different thing to do. We'll ask them to do it. So most of the teachers, God grace, 99% of the teachers have never left Sattva, because one is good paying we give. Another is employee maximization. As much as I can do it. Yesterday also, I was treating all my teachers, because once in a month or once in a while, we have to treat them really better. Absolutely. And I also do it for all my in-house mates, that talk to them regularly, which is really important. You need to understand their difficulties, because today they'll ask a holiday, and if you don't give them tomorrow, they don't turn up. Sure. I tell my coordinator, if any teacher is asking for a holiday, any in-house maid is asking for a holiday, just say yes. Don't say no. When 2 teachers are going on holiday, take which has come first come first serve. Tell the second teacher, don't worry, we'll give you the next day. So first come first serve. And today I think 2 ayahs are absent. We have got 2 more extra from the outside. We pay them daily. So we have that understanding between them, and they do it.
That's really nice. That's very good. Good to hear that. And
Yeah.
of course, today we were talking about during pandemic how parents were so absorbed in their laptops. So with so much of digitization happening, and even the children who are even as young as, I would say, even 6 months or 8 months child, when a child cries, parent usually ends up just passing on the phone to
Phone.
such a child. So
Yeah, yeah.
in this kind of a digitization, the world that we are living in, how do you think that curiosity can be nurtured in children? How do you make them explorers and not just become dull in their minds?
Basically, as I told you before, Montessori materials is one of the best thing them to explore. So how we do it in a very different way. We have a science experiment sessions. We normally do every 3 months or 2 months with the elder one kids, whereas the smaller ones, we tell the parents not to showcase them towards any kind of tablet or phone or books. So let us say I taught a kid phonic sounds today. So if I tell the parents, can you please show them the phonic sounds? First thing is parent does not know what is phonics, because parents need to get a basic idea how does the phonic works. So what we do is we teach the child phonics. Second thing is I'll ask my teacher, can you please record the phonic and send it to the parent. Let us say you're a parent and you don't have any access to the phonic. Your child is going to a different school compared to Sattva. So you will say that you will call the teacher, say, ma'am, can you please tell me which is the phonics video? The teacher will say, ma'am, search in the YouTube, ma'am. There are n number of US and UK phonics. You can just play it. Then it will start coming in this thing. YouTube. So for US, confusing thing, how to go ahead with it. So in Sattva, what we do is we tell the teacher, do it pre-recorded. So A sounds A, the teacher will send the same video to the parent. So now the cut down time is different way. If you ask the parent to search, she'll not only search phonic video, she'll also start seeing some of the other music videos, where the kid will be sitting right next to you and he'll start watching all the videos that you are showing also. Now the class is gone. You are enjoying your way, best way. How? By watching some videos with the kids. So how do you cut down the technology? You have to send the videos to the parent. The parent will only show, see this? A sounds A. So you need to cut down the technology work in a different way. That is how Sattva comes in. We do it in a phonical manner with the Montessori help, and also use the technology in a different way. This is not only for the phonic, it is also for 2-letter word, 3-letter word, 4-letter word. We basically do it. We help the parent. So avoid the technology that is rightly available with you, but use the technology that the school is giving you. So that is how we incorporate it.
I think that's a very good way of doing it, instead of just asking the parents to look on YouTube.
Yeah. You can't ask them. If you ask them to search, they will watch every day Natu Natu, and they'll also watch some Rara Rakkama, and they'll finish their day. Because
very true.
yeah, that is how it happens. Because if I give an example of my wife, and I told her, don't search any phonic videos, you ask me, I'll give you, because you end up watching other videos.
Really? Okay, so workforce, as we call them, or the teachers who are called the pillars of any school. Now, if somebody had to join your school, say Sattva, and what would be the criteria that you actually follow to recruit teachers? And so if you could just throw a little bit of light on that.
See, basically, most of the housewives wants to be Montessori teachers, and or a person who has completed maybe 10-12 years of software job, has gone up to age of maturity and wants to be a bit lighter job so that she can focus on the kid, because he's coming up to 8th or 9th standard or maybe 10th standard recently. So they want to focus on him. So they want to have a job which is a very light job. So in that case, we would prefer at least a bachelor degree or a postgraduate degree. It may be any degree, does not really matter for us, but their ability to think, ability to understand the kid, and they should have some passion towards the kid. It is just not a postgraduate or undergraduate. They should have some passion towards the kid. It is not your kid towards the other kid. If you have passion to your kid, it would have been a different way.
Correct.
So second thing is you should have NTT or MTT, that is National Teachers Training, or Montessori Teachers Training, and certification should be rightly available with you during the time of interview.
Okay.
Or and one copy of certification should be submitted to the school. Okay, why? Tomorrow a parent comes up and says your teacher is not trained with Montessori. So then at least I have an authority to say that, okay, see ma'am, this is a certificate which has been given by the teacher. Please go through this. This is an original certificate replica which has been submitted to the office. Then we won't let the teacher and parent to talk, because it's a fight again what we are doing. We, being the management, we have to show them and make them understand about it. So once the parent is convinced, definitely she'll go back and stay happy about it. So you want to work in Sattva, make sure that you have a graduate or a postgraduate passion with the working towards kids or with the kids. Then MTT or NTT is a really important. No MTT, NTT, we won't entertain you. So that is how we do it.
Yeah, I think it's very important, since you follow the Montessori curriculum. It's very important that teachers are aware of that.
Yes.
And apart from all the trainings that you look for, or the qualifications that you're looking for, usually schools do have, during the time of induction, they do have certain trainings for the teachers. So at Sattva, is there some kind of a refresher training or something which is an ongoing thing that happens for teachers as well?
Yes. Every 3 to 4 months, they have to take training from my curriculum partner, because the books are really different. What we follow, the curriculum is same as National Curriculum Framework, but the books are a bit higher version compared to the other versions that are in the market. So every 3 to 4 months, we have training with a curriculum partner. So they will come to the school and they train them, or the teachers can take a break on Saturday and they can go to the curriculum partner's office. They can learn from there. Another thing is personality development programs. We gradually do every 3 to 4 months. How we do it? We bring a parent who is really good in personality development. We give an opportunity to parent, because it is really good to have an understanding with the parent who is a personality development trainer, who comes up to the school and say, let us play some games today with the teachers. So this will help the teachers to nurture themselves and be good friends. Most of the time, what happens is two teachers start fighting because of their own ability to understand and way of thinking, all these things. So we avoid all these things. We make sure that they are really good friends. So you should always give them time to personality development. You should always give their time to family, all these things. So this is how we work in a different.
Now, another thing or a point of concern that is weighing the parents down further, especially in the last few years, is because of the incidents that have been happening in schools, which is concerning the safety of their child. So, of course, each and every school now has taken some steps and have followed certain protocols in terms of safety. So at Sattva, what are some of the safety protocols that you take to ensure that children are safe within school?
So there are two kinds of things. First, I would like to talk. The first and foremost important thing is the app which has been provided by Sattva. So we have a Creo app which will be installed by all the parents. So once the child comes inside the school, whether the parent drops or he comes by the transportation that is provided by Sattva. Here, the most important thing is transportation is provided by Sattva, not by the external agent. I have got 2 vans. I bought them for myself, for my school. So I have got drivers who have been hired, and I take their Aadhaar card, I take their driving license, everything I copy, and I always keep in my phone. Because sometimes what happens when they're driving back to the school or driving back home, police may say that, okay, can you please show your documents? Sometimes his documents are not readily available in his pocket, and it is available in the van, but he's not able to pick. So what happens is I call the police and I tell them, okay, sir, I'm WhatsApping it directly. Please check the documents, insurance, everything should be in the proper condition. So we hire the drivers. We make sure that they are not alcoholic, non-alcoholic drivers, and non-smoking habit. All this habit should be well maintained. Otherwise, they can't drive it in a proper way. And once the child is picked up from the home, the driver or the maid who is sitting in the van will immediately pop up and say that the child is inside the van, will be reaching the school soon. So once they reach the school, the teacher will come up and say that, okay, now I am taking my job, and say that the child is inside the school. So your first point is the child has been picked up by the driver. The second point is child is dropped by the parent. Both the kids have an opportunity, or both of them have an opportunity to tick in a proper way. So the parents have an information the child is inside the school. Once the child comes inside the school, the first and foremost important is we should have a CCTV all over the place. So what we have done is we have around 36 cameras which are running all over the place. So how these cameras are placed? From the community gate entrance, we have cameras all over the roads which are leading towards the school. Because once the auto starts in the community gate, we have an alarm ticking saying that, okay, auto is coming. Make sure that you ask them to park in a right way so that it is not affecting the others in the community. So they come inside. Cameras have been installed. Each and every classroom has cameras, and each and every step where the child is coming down or going up has cameras. So that is how we take up the security, and safety is really important, which you asked. Recently we got a certification from Department of Fire saying that this school is fire safety regulations have been properly installed. In this school, that is Sattva, the fire safety regulations have been properly installed. We took a step. We made sure that more than 11 fire extinguishing bottles have been, or the cylinders have been properly kept according to the notice given by the fire department. So we have done that. And second is comes down to safety is when you go to the classroom, the switches inside the classroom should not be in the down. Why? The back in your home, the child is able to access properly, and he may put his finger or he may do in another way. So we keep it in the 4 feet height, so that even after, if he is 2.5 feet, the chair comes up to 1 feet, 3.5 feet, another half a feet is not able to touch the switches. And the gates have double locking system. So once the child or one of the ayahs close the gate, immediately 2 locks will close the gate. So double locking system. And again, the gate height is more than 5 feet, so that even they can't climb up the gate and jump towards the other side. So all these things have been taken care in a different manner.
Okay.
So I would request all the parents who are seeing this video to visit the Sattva, so that they have more information about all the things that we're doing.
Absolutely. That's really good to hear. And so now coming to, of course, we spoke about activities, and you said there are so many activities that you do, but what are the annual events that take place in Sattva, whether in terms of sports or the cultural events?
When it comes to sports, Sattva stands very differently. We are the only one school in Rajarajeshwari Nagar where we conduct the sports within the campus. So most of the small schools, they end up in government lands or private parks, which are situated either outskirts of the school or the Bangalore, or they may go to the government and ask for a permission for a field for a sports area or the sports activity. So Sattva is the only one school which does sports activity within the school. So parents should have that in the mind, ample area to play. So your kid has got an ample area to play. When it comes to different festival, I stand very differently. We celebrate everything. Being an educator, you have to encourage children, whether it is a Hindu, Muslim, or Christian, we have to celebrate everything. So for us, we celebrate Janoushadhi Kendra, we celebrate Krishna Janmashtami, then we celebrate Sankranti, we celebrate Yugadi. Again, this year Yugadi has come up before April, and we celebrate that in 22nd or 23rd of March in the next week. So we celebrate all the festivals. Annual cultural day will be held in the month of February. It is a too late program because we have to finish our curriculum, like slowly we have to finish the academics, then we end up in sports day, then comes up our annual cultural meet. Apart from this, we have grandparents day where all the grandparents will be called back to school. Then we have parents day where all parents will come up and only play without children. So children will be taking back resting, and we ask the parents to come back. And recently we also did an International Women's Day where all the mothers came up, had a very good time with our teachers and management staff. So we have all the events which will be celebrated round the clock. So every month I can say 1 or 2 events will be celebrated within the school. And most important thing is, apart from fees, no other money will be collected from the parents to celebrate all these things. So we celebrate within the fees that we have collected.
Okay. Oh, that's amazing. So at this stage, when the children are in the pre-primary or the early years, how much of parent participation do you expect? How much of do you think that parents should involve themselves, whether in terms of curriculum or other activities? How much do you expect from the parents?
Parents should at least visit school at least once in a week or twice in a month. Why?
Okay.
So you need to understand how is your kid performing and what they're doing. or at least you should also give a call to the coordinator and ask for like how they are performing in the school or within the school, how they are coping with of the syllabus, because you are working somewhere else and you are not able to come. So parent teachers meeting will be held once in a month or twice in a month, depending upon the activity time, as well as the depending upon how we are finishing the curriculum. And test will be held every 2 to 3 months once, and annual exams will be performed in the month of March. So for all the parent teachers meeting, I have been observing most of the parent comes. 98% of the parents will be appearing. 2% of the parents will be absent, saying that I have this work, I have that work, and we normally do it on the Saturday and Sunday. So for me, being a parent, or if I see the other parent, they have to attend, they have to hear about their kids. At least if you can't give 1 hour time to your kid back at 6:30 to 7:30 back home, then you start losing your kid. Once he goes up to second standard, third standard, he would say, Mama or Papa, I won't come now. I want to study later. From now on, you have to make a practice. Okay, what is this guy telling? Only the kid is 2 to 3 years old and he's asking us to sit 1 hour. Why don't you give them some drawing for 1 hour? Give them some drawing, which will make them to concentrate at least 1 hour. Concentration should be developed. If you can't focus on a kid for 1 hour in the age of 2 to 6 years, how can you expect them to study for 6 hours when they're 16 years? So first important thing is parents should involve with the kids, whether it is 2 to 4 or 2 to 6.
Very
Or
true.
6 to 16. So parents'
Absolutely.
involvement is very much important.
Yes.
At least spend
Yes.
1 hour with your kid.
Mm.
That makes huge amount of difference when he is between 6 to 16.
Yes, absolutely. So coming to almost the end of our session, I would really like to know, though, of course, I know that your father was a role model, but what actually inspired you, to become an educator?
When it comes to an educator, there are two role models. One is father. You told me that your father has been a role model. Second one is my sister. My sister had an abacus center. Within a span of 3.5 months, she had more than 200 kids who are studying in the abacus center. So her ability to develop that center helped me to start this preschool as well. We both were together when we started each other, but later due to COVID, she has to leave the platform because her child were in a had a different, because my sister's husband works in a government job and he gets transferred often. So she should be with the children all the time. So her kid is now 10th standard. So she should give more time towards the home compared to the preschool. But she'll be over the phone with me all the time. So she motivated me that if you do this, you have amazing skills that you can see in a different way. And once you also become a parent, you will also see in a different way how things should work on. So she has been a very good motivator, backbone. Now that again one more step has come is my wife, who has been a lawyer and who's been a legal consultant for the school, also steps up. She tells me, you are a management guy, you only work in the management perspective. I am a parent, you also think me, you have to think me, because we have a child who is like 2 years, and this is how I think sometimes. Okay, yes, so this is how she's thinking and I have to adopt that also. Another way around is my mom is another setup which comes up in a different way. I have 2 kids, dude. You need to see, and you both have grown up. And this is my perspective. Take it. So if I come, family has been a biggest inspirations for me. Sitting in one corner, working for 20 years like my mom is not the easiest job. Bringing up 2 kids in a different way. Now, this has been inspiring for me. My mom, my dad, my sister, and my wife all are role models for me in a different way.
Wow, wow, amazing. It's been such a pleasure talking to you, and it's been so interesting. And I'm
Thank you,
sure
ma'am.
that
Thank you
the
so much.
parents who watch it, I'm sure they will really want to put their child in Sattva, not just for the space that you all provide, but for the vision and the passion
Yes,
that you
yes,
all
yes.
carry. Absolutely. And I'm sure and I pray that you have many more branches coming up in the near
Thank you so much,
future.
Archana, ma'am. Thank you.
And we hope that we have you back with us very soon. And we
Thank
pray
you. Definitely,
that
definitely. You've been
yes,
wonderful. Like the questions that you have put in has made me like, okay, this much of answer I can tell about my preschool. I'm very shocked. The way you have bring
no,
up the
no,
questions.
absolutely.
So,
The way you have, I can see your passion translate into whatever you have spoken. And it was, I don't know how the time flew by. It was such an interesting conversation, so interesting to know the way, and you are on the right track.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, and we pray that your school Sattva touches pinnacles of success in the
Thank
near
you, thank you so
future.
much.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.